Hola amigos, Profesor Pablo here with lesson number 155, 155, sentence starters, future verb number 6, regular verbs. Now we're going to take our first real hard look at the future tense. All along we have been using the irá plus infinitive like it's going to rain, va llover instead of lloverá. Much more common it is to use the irá plus infinitive to imply future. Remember, we have three time frames in life. We have the present, past, and the future. And in Spanish, more commonly, we use the irá plus infinitive to imply something that's going to happen in the future. But there is a hardcore future tense that translates to will. Okay, to will. Key point number one. The future tense verb endings are the same for all verbs and added to the end of the infinitive. Point two, the future translates in English to will. All verbs. Verb number 6, future, the verb endings are as, amos, an, and the accent marks are on all except for the amos, the we form. All right, let's take a look at some verb conjugation practice. We have leer, to read. That's an ER verb. I will read, leeré. You add the E on the end of the infinitive. Leerás, leerá, leeremos, and leerán. Accent marks on all but the nosotros, all but the we, all but the fourth conjugation. Ganar is to win. Ganaré, I will win. Ganarás, you will win. Ganará, he or she or usted, you will win. Ganaremos, we will win, and ganarán, they will win. Escribir, to write. Here's an IR verb. Same endings. Escribiré, I will write. Escribirás, you will write. Escribirá, he, she, or it, or usted, you will write. Escribiremos, we will write. And escribirán, they will write. Or you, ustedes, plural, will write. Okay? Again, the verb endings are as, amos, an, and they go on the end of the infinitive. Here's some verbs we're going to practice with. To rain, llover. To go, ir. To return, volver. This is how you learn all these verbs. They keep reappearing in every lesson. You don't have to study them. You just simply use them. To work, trabajar. No baby, no kid, no 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old studied language. They didn't study it. It wasn't taught to them as grammar. It was language, right? It was real life. And that's what we're trying to imitate right here. Learn by imitation and creation. You imitate leeré with I will work, trabajaré. I will call you, te llamaré. You imitate your example and then you go off on your own and create. Like a bird, a baby bird leaving the nest. You imitate and then you leave the nest and go create. And that is language. And you'll get better and better and better and better. Learning to speak a foreign language is like learning to walk. You can't walk at all. You can't crawl. It's just baby talk. Then you can crawl, and then you can, I guess it's called cruise, and then you can walk, and then you can run. But that's just the way it is with a language. It's gradual, it's progressive, and you do nothing but get better and better and steadier on your feet, okay? And unlike people getting older, you're not going to lose your balance when you speak Spanish fluently. It'll be there forever, para siempre. Okay, so I think we were going through our infinitives. Let's go to read, leer, to wait, esperar, to see or to watch, ver, to forget, olvidar, to cost, costar, to snow, nevar, to pay, pagar, to be, estar, to get dinner ready, preparar la cena, to rest, descansar, to call, llamar, to meet, conocer, to explain, explicar, and to be, ser. All right, our examples. Let me hit you again with the endings. As, amos, an. They go on the end of the infinitive. Are there some irregular verbs? Yes, always some irregular verbs, but not too many. Not too many at all. Let's look at our examples. It will cost a lot. You take the verb costar and put the it ending on the end. Costará mucho. It will be fun. Take ser and put the it ending a on the end. Será divertido. I will be in New York for a week. Take estar and put the e accent. Estaré en Nueva York por una semana. It will rain. Lloverá. You take llover and put the a. Go back to estaré en Nueva York por una semana. By virtue of knowing for a week is por una semana, so for duration of time, now you know, you're going to imitate por una semana. For a day, por un día. For 10 years, por 10 años. For 25 minutes, por 25 minutos. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how we learn. You learn by example, you imitate it, and then you create on your own. To snow, the verb nevar, put the it ending a accent, nevará. We will be there, estaremos allí. I will see you tomorrow, put the pronoun in front of the verb, te veré mañana. You, plural, will meet her soon. La conocer, put conocer and put the they. En factor, put the an. La conocerán pronto. She will call me on Tuesday. Ella, now your pronoun, may. Put llamar and put the she ending as a accent. Ella me llamará el martes. I will read it to you. Put your you first. If you have two pronouns, this is the first time that we're mentioning it. If you have two pronouns, okay, the person pronoun always goes first and then the object goes second. And the way I like to remind you to remember this is people first, object second. Pretend, God forbid, there's a fire in the house. You're going to run in the house. You're not going to get the objects out first. You're going to get the people and then the objects. So pretend it's a fire. What are you going to go in? You're going to get the people. So you're going to use the pronoun referring to people, te, that comes first, and then the object pronoun referring to something non-people, an object, goes second. People first, objects second. So I will read it to you. In Spanish, we say, to you, it, I will read. Te lo leeré. Don't you love how all this just makes sense? It's logical. There's a few rules, some endings, but it all works. And I'm telling you, a lot of people think it's like the universe with a starry night, like Van Gogh's Starry Night, a gazillion stars in the sky, right? No way. Spanish language is finite. It's like in a corral. It's surrounded. It has its parameters, and we're teaching them to you, and you're going to be on this. You're going to be like Muhammad Ali banging away. All right? Here we go. You will forget it. Lo olvidarás. She will get mad. Here's your pronoun. It goes in front. Se enojará. And I will get up early. Me despertaré temprano. So now we know the future, the hardcore future will. Instead of me despertaré temprano, you could just say, voy a despertarme temprano. Doesn't that sound more slick? She will get mad, se enojará, versus va a enojarse. I will read it to you, right? Te lo leeré, te lo voy a leer. The irá plus infinitive is a more common way of implying future. Hey, there are 10 things you can do to verbs, and we're seeing them just about all now. We haven't seen the 7 or the 8, and we saw the 9 only for a moment, but we're getting there. All right, future. Regular verbs, will. The endings are the same for all AR, ER, and IR verbs. And once we see the irregular verbs coming up in next lesson, it's the same verb endings, okay? Has, a, hemos, han. All right, that'll do it for the future of regular verbs. Number 155, put a check mark. Es todo, ya, se acabó. Gracias por escuchar. Hasta la próxima lección. This is your Profesor Pablo signing off. Cambio fuera.